Welcome to my new weekly roundup. I'll show you everything that's up for pre-order, and I'll show you all the other reveals that have happened during the week. Firstly, there's a 9-day event happening very soon for the reopening of Games Workshop stores across the country. Between the 22nd of May and the 30th of May, you'll be able to go into the store and buy 2 exclusive miniatures. Also, there's a secret way of getting other merchandise as well, and I think that secret way will be spend as much money as you possibly can. As far as I can see, there's a shoulder bag, a dice bag, and a couple of books. So if you're interested in that, go and spend a ton of money at Games Workshop stores and you may get something. Next up is standard pre-orders from Games Workshop. So that would be AOS, Warhammer 40k, that kind of thing. I believe it's all AOS this week. Soulblight Gravelords get a new battle tome this week, and it is full of war scrolls and lore and all that kind of stuff, just the standard battle tome. I really liked the look of the models that were announced at Warhammer Fest, so I might just pick this one up just for the lore and to read a wee bit about it. And maybe somewhere down the line I will make a vampire army, but who knows. You can't really go wrong with vampires anyway. The new battle tome comes in 3 flavours. It comes in a standard book, an ebook, and a limited edition, which is 700 copies. So if you're desperate to get the limited edition, you will have to run the 10 o'clock gauntlet on the Games Workshop store and just hope for no dodgy server, i.e. a miracle. If I do pick this up, I'll be going for the ebook because I'm running out of space for traditional books, and I would love it if they did 40k codexes on ebook because I'd just read it on my iPad. I actually buy fewer codexes now, so I used to buy a few codexes that weren't associated with any armies I was collecting, just as an impulse purchase. Just might have been interested in lore and that kind of thing, but I don't do that anymore, so Games Workshop have actually shot themselves in the foot in that regard. So I'm glad to see that there's still ebooks for Age of Sigmar. To go with the battle tome, you can also get Death Rattle skeletons, which are the Ulfenwatch skeletons from Cursed City, but they're still awesome models. And we've also got Deadwalker zombies, which look very decent. There are some of the same type as Cursed City with the full tombstones on their backs, but there are plenty of upright shambling ones too. There's one that caught my eye as being too normal, and that's this guy. Heroic poses for zombies just don't seem quite right. We've also got Fellbats, which are fine. I hate painting wing membranes, so I deliberately tried to make a list without taking these guys, but they look great for painters who are far braver than me. Blood Knights will be up for pre-order as well. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments, is this a rebox to give them round bases, or is this a completely new kit? I'm not sure, but they still look very nice. There's also a Vampire Lord coming, and I will be upfront. I hate this model. There's something about it. It's too angular or skinny. It just doesn't seem imposing at all. It doesn't have much personality. It reminds me of someone too, and I think it's Tilda Swinton in What We Do in the Shadows. It just does not appeal as a Warhammer model. Loka Vai, the Mother of Nightmares, was featured on the Warhammer community pre-order page, but wasn't included in This Week in Warhammer, which is a short video. So I don't think she's coming on Saturday, but if you really must have her at release, make sure you're on the site anyway, just to make sure. Also up for pre-order are the usual War Scroll cards and dice. So if you want either of these things, they will be very limited while stocks last, and they never last long, so you'll have to get in really early to pick these up. The new synthetic brushes announced last week will be up for pre-order too. Now, I never understood why anyone would use synthetic brushes over, say, sable hair, but apparently there's a lot of people that do because it's an animal product, sable hair, so they use synthetic brushes instead. I've obviously not tried these, but if they're not as hard wearing as a sable brush, if they're as bad as the other synthetic brushes which lose their point really quickly and you have to scrap them or just use them for like dry brushing or taking paint out the pot, then I would not go for these. But if it turns out that they're different and they last a lot longer, then I might give them a go. In fact, tell me in the comments if you want me to pick up a set and tell you what they're like. We've got Forge World pre-orders, or a pre-order, and it's the Bellicosa Volcano Cannon. It's £16 in the Forge World site, and it's actually available to pre-order right now. It's just a big cannon that's actually meant for a spaceship, and it's attached to the carapace of a Titan instead. So it's pretty safe to say that anything it hits, it will kill. Black Library next, and we've got Git Slayer, which is a Gotrek Gurnison novel. I haven't read any of the Gotrek novels since the setting moved to Age of Sigmar, but I've read plenty from the Old World, and they're really good reads. I can probably recommend this one without having read it yet. We've got Undeath Ascendant, which is a Vampire Counts novel, so if you want to know more about that kind of thing, then pick that up. And lastly for Black Library we have A Dynasty of Monsters, which is a Loka Vi novel, so it'll hopefully be an interesting look at this new character. There were a few model announcements too, which aren't up for pre-order yet. So there's 2 Imperial Fist Praetors, there's one in Power Armour and one in Tartaros Terminator Armour, and the Praetors are second only to Rogel Dorn for power, ability in combat and strategy, so they're pretty powerful. If you've got Imperial Fists, if you're into the Horus Heresy, then you can pick them up from Forge World at some point in the near future, not up for pre-order yet. I like these models, especially the big shield, but I've not got an Imperial Fists army and I don't play Horus Heresy, so these ones are not for me. The best model reveal of the week was no doubt Lady Credo for Necromunda. This model and the artwork accompanying her was absolutely beautiful. This is one that painters will pick up just to paint, definitely. So the background to her is she's a noble, she's fallen out with her noble house and she's run away down to the Underhive to try to get away. Now half the gangs down there have been hired to kill her and the other half she could hire to protect her. So that's how that works. It does seem like Necromunda consistently delivers with amazing models, and this is not an exception. Just before exporting this video, I had one last check on Warhammer Community, and lo and behold, there's another article, and it is Frankenstein, who is a classic Blood Bowl star player. He can play for Sylvanian Spotlight or Old World teams, and he's giant. He's a flesh golem, so he's kind of necromantic horror type of player, obviously. The model looks fantastic, and this is definitely one I'll be picking up. Now how's that for up to the minute news? So that's the end of the weekly roundup. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and you can catch me again same time next week. Thank you.